Yes, guys, what's going on? It's been a while. Just to let you guys know, I'm gonna be back in June full time. There's a reason I've been out for a good while now out of the channel, but I'm definitely coming back full time in June. I needed time off the channel for a specific reason, but we'll definitely be back in June. I'm gonna be running things full time. I'm gonna be going full steam ahead. So if you guys can think of anything that you want me to do in particular that I haven't thought of, let me know. So with the state of the heavyweight division at the moment, it's looking very stacked, and I'm just gonna be just saying again what I've been saying in the past. But I think that the headliner and what's really opened everybody's eyes up is when Anthony Joshua faced Wladimir Klitschko and pretty much annihilated him in the 11th round in what was a very competitive fight, a heavyweight classic that we haven't seen. I don't know, when was the last time you saw a heavyweight fight like that? I can't remember. Before Klitschko, I don't know. That was an unbelievable fight. My hats off to Anthony Joshua because he really put it in, and hats off to Klitschko as well because he really made that fight as well. But you see, the heavyweight division started coming alive when I saw Deontay Wilder emerging on the scene. At the time, Tyson Fury hadn't honed his skills, and he didn't look like too much of a good fighter, to be fair. The main man at that time, I remember that I was looking at, thinking this guy could be a problem, is Deontay Wilder. He had stupid power, ridiculous power, lean, tall heavyweight, he looked the part. And it was the first time we saw a heavyweight like that. Like, it'd been a long time since we saw anyone even in shape in the heavyweight division. Everyone was fat, pulling their weight, couldn't fight, and just looked damn near awful. And you had a few Russian fighters, and it was boring. The heavyweight division was absolutely boring. But it's just all of a sudden it sprung to life with a number of different fighters, and I'm just gonna name you a few fighters, okay, just to show you guys what I mean. All right, this is the state of the heavyweight division at the moment. First of all, we have Dillian White. Okay, we have Dominic Brazil. You got Kubrat Pulev. You've got Luis King Kong Ortiz. I'm gonna tell you a very good fighter who I think is an exceptional fighter who beats most of these guys. His name's Andy Ruiz, and I've been rating him very highly from day one. He lost to Joseph Parker, but it was a very competitive fight, and people had him winning that fight. So, how good is Andy Ruiz? I mean, if people are talking about Joseph Parker, why aren't you talking about Andy Ruiz? Because he's the same level. Because literally, they had such a close fight. Then you've got the likes of Hughie Fury coming up. Hughie's coming up in the ranks, and he's got a mandatory fight coming up against Joseph Parker, which I'm very confident is going to win that fight. And you see, Hughie, he's only 20 years old. He's only 20 years old. So how good is Hughie going to be in coming in the next 3 to 5 years when he hits his prime? He's going for a title shot now at 20 years old. And I think he's one of them fighters who relies on skill as well. So he's got a lot of headway to go. Yeah, I mean, he's got tons to do in the sport, and he's only 20. And then we've got obviously the WBO champion, which is Joseph Parker. I mean, he's got flaws, I know, but I mean, he can crack. If you put him in there with, I don't know, if you put him in there with Klitschko, Joshua, and Fury, he'll get eaten alive, I think. But I mean, he's got a chance at knocking one of them out, right? Because he's got the punching power, he's got the speed. Why not? You've got Shannon Briggs in there. You've got Wladimir Klitschko, Alexander Ustinov. You've got so many fighters. I mean, we could just go on and on. Look, we've got Bermane Stiverne. We've got Tyson Fury, the man himself. You know? So, to me, I just find it crazy how people aren't seeing this. That this is the most stacked division in boxing. I mean, I just named you. Let me tell you how many fighters I named you. I named you about approximately maybe about 12 to 13 fighters. I mean, you've got Tony Bellew and David Haye, 14. You mix these 15, Bermane Stiverne, Wilder, 16. I've just named you about 15 to 16 heavyweight fighters, right? And I'm pretty sure you know the names of most of them, and you know most of them can crack and can fight. Narrow, take 4 or 5 off. I mean, you've got 10 very good heavyweights, and the truth of the matter is this, that not one of them, I don't think, is a rubbish fighter. I think every single one of them fighters that I named has something to contribute to the heavyweight division, and we're going to see some very, very good fights in time to come in the heavyweight division. I mean, when do you remember a heavyweight division this stacked? With the likes of Wilder, Stavern, Louis King Kong Ortiz, Dylan White, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Definitely with Fury coming back into the game. I mean, the big fight is obviously Anthony Joshua and Fury at this moment in time. But who's there to say that is going to be the big fight? I mean, what happens if, let's just say Anthony Joshua knocks out Fury, and then Anthony Joshua gets forced to fight Louis King Kong Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz knocks off the block of Anthony Joshua, knocks him out. Fury faces him and boxes him clean, gets a rematch. I mean, these are things which are going to happen in boxing, in my opinion. I don't think that it's going to be any sort of dull moments in this. I mean, then you've got Klitschko, who's still around. He's got a lot to offer as well. And I don't know, man. I just think this is an unbelievable era, and Dylan White's improving. Huey's coming up. You've got Joseph Parker from New Zealand there. These guys are all very, very good fighters. I mean, if you put Andy Ruiz in there with someone like Dylan White, look past his physique. Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter. Okay? You put Joseph Parker in there with Dylan White, that's a solid fight, And this is what the heavyweight division it needs, and these guys can crack, and they're big punchers. Every single one of these guys can punch, and you're going to be seeing some very, very exciting matchups. I think that the problem that we're having at the moment is that there seems to be a split in boxing with the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO, in that people are just fighting. The fighters are all trying to get hold of a belt, and they're going through their respected sanctioning bodies to get there. Okay, so if you're someone called Klitschko, you're not really gunning too much for Deontay Wilder because he's with the WBC, and as far as I know, Klitschko's not even ranked by them. So that's the crazy thing with the heavyweight division at the moment. I think this needs to stop, and I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I do think that these fighters will fight each other. They need to be a bit more active as well. But we're going to be seeing some very, very good fights in the coming 2 to 3 years. I can't wait to see, like, Dominic Breazeale's a good fighter. I mean, he got knocked out by Joshua, but he's a good fighter. I want to see what he put up a good little fight against Joshua. He got beaten, okay, given, but he did last in there. He did punch back. I want to see him. And you know what it is? It's not just about the top 2, 3. It's about that lower 5, 6 division. I mean, what happens if Dominic Breazeale faces Dylan White, or Dominic Breazeale faces Kubrat Pulev, or Dominic Breazeale faces Andy Ruiz? Do you see what I'm trying to say? My point is, right, that this heavyweight division is not just about the elite heavyweight, okay? It's about the second tier of the heavyweight division. And if, say, for example, Dylan White fought Dominic Breazeale, wiped him out, okay, then if he went and faced Andy Ruiz, wiped him out, then you can go and face, like, Huey, boom, and that's a big fight right there. And then one of them fighters faces, I don't know, the heavyweight champion at the time, who's maybe Anthony Joshua, or maybe Fury might come back, or Louis King Kong Ortiz. So this is a very, very exciting time for the heavyweight division at the moment. And the other thing is this, right, we don't know which other fighter is going to come out of here, okay, because there's some other fighters here who I haven't named, who are good fighters, and people are saying, look, what about him, what about him, what about him? You're not mentioning him, he's a really good fighter, have you seen him fight? And that's exciting, and I think that's brilliant, and I think that we need this in the heavyweight division, and I just think that it's going to be an unbelievable 2 years in the heavyweight division, and then a really good another 3. I think you're looking at about a good solid 5 years of, like, really action-packed, unbelievable fights. I mean, you throw Tony Bellew into that mix with his talking and his building up fights. I mean, that's exciting in itself. And David Hayes not finished; he's still in there. He's gonna come back off his injury and he's in a fight. I just can't wait to see it all. I think it's brilliant. Deontay Wilder, these characters we've got: Tyson Fury, you've got Anthony Joshua, Luis Ortiz. Brilliant fighters, talkers. You've got the mix of everything in this heavyweight division. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to see. I'm very happy for all these guys because they're all going to make a lot of money fighting each other. Leave your comments in the section below. Please make sure you subscribe. Man like Dylan White, he's on his hustle, he's on his grind, he's pumping his weights out, he's training very hard, he's trying to get to the top of there. He wants a title as well. it's going to be very, very competitive, and I think that a lot of these guys are going to take losses. I just think that, do you know, though this is the truth. I just think that the only fighter who has the capability of to remain undefeated and beat every single one of these fighters is Tyson Fury. But the problem with Fury is I don't think he's got the commitment to stay undefeated. If he was committed, he'd do it. But that's the beauty of this division, is if Fury doesn't dominate, then we're gonna have belts going left, right, and center. You're gonna have big fights happening, and someone's gonna try to unify. Anthony Joshua is not gonna single-handedly take over the division, because I think Joshua is either gonna get spanked by Fury, I think he's gonna get outboxed by Fury, or I think he's gonna get knocked out somewhere across the line against Luis Ortiz. He is not, and I'm not saying that I think Luis Ortiz beats Joshua. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So leave your comments in the section below. Please make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think. It's gonna be a mad few years in the heavyweight division. I mean, what if Wilder faces Joshua? What's the chances of like Wilder knocking Joshua out? I mean, that's possible. It's all possible. Comment section below. Subscribe as always. Be Real TV. Let me know what you guys think.